When patients or clients don't make the progress in their healing that you're expecting, it can be frustrating or even a bit demoralizing for everyone involved, especially when you, as the practitioner, is doing everything in your power. But did you know that the culprit to stalled progress can be biotransformation and elimination processes, also known as detoxification? In this video, I'm going to share how the body having trouble taking out the trash can block your client's progress. When it comes to health, most practitioners, even ones who have training in functional medicine, don't always see that common environmental or hidden toxins can be a huge barrier to health. Frequently, the term detox may seem like a trendy fitness or beauty fad without a lot of medical bearing. You may have even seen experts say that if you have a liver and kidneys, then you can detox just fine and no additional support is needed. But this is really missing some important information, and a lot of the time it's simply not true. When practitioners work hard on interventions to get their patients back on track, we don't see the results that we're expecting. We have to go back to the drawing board and think about, what have we missed? What are we not seeing? It can be a sign that a hidden toxic burden could be to blame. Toxins have the ability to affect every system, from the brain, hormones, the gut, fertility, your immunity, food reactivity, and more. Toxic exposure can be subtle and accumulate compounds over time, so it might not be obvious that toxins are at the heart of the issue that you're dealing with. We have also, to a large degree, normalized how toxic our lives are, and your clients and patients may not necessarily understand that they're being exposed to toxins or that it may have been building up over years. For example, with mold, the toxic burden from mold can be accumulating over as many as 25 years. So people could have been exposed to mold when they were at university, and now they're 40 and they're dealing with symptoms, and this can make it really hard to join the dots. Toxins accumulate in minuscule amounts over time, but we also accumulate many different types of toxin, and this combination of factors creates a combined burden in the body. Also, the combination of toxins is unique for each person, and also combinations are not studied, or they're studied minimally. So from the studies that exist, we know that combining toxins can create a significantly bigger issue than the same amount of just a single toxin at that same amount. So with toxins, 1 plus 1 does not equal 2. It equals 10, and 10 plus 10 does not equal 20, it equals 100. The total is significantly greater than the sum of the individual parts when we're talking about toxic burden. So if someone has 2 molecules each of 500,000 toxins, that could be more problematic as 1 million molecules of one toxin. But if you did a test and you only looked at one of those, you'd only see 2 molecules. It wouldn't look the same as the million one, but the body burden is the same or can potentially be even greater. So when it comes to dealing with toxins, looking at mold as a major player has become very popular, as it should be. And the good news is that we can test for mold exposure, but there are things that are not so easy to test for, or the testing is incredibly expensive. Another thing to consider is that testing for some of these toxins can be a challenge in and of itself. Many are fat soluble, so they might not be present in the bloodstream on that day because they're stored in fat. So relying on testing may be a little bit limiting. Instead, we must learn how to create protocols to support elimination from the body for the patient, and how to understand how to safely and effectively apply those protocols. I think most people, and even practitioners, need help understanding the proper theories and methods to supporting biotransformation and elimination. And I often think that practitioners are missing this piece of the puzzle. So while the clinician may know a part, like how to support hormone detox, or using something like flax or specific herbs, or eating foods from the brassica family, but they're really just focusing on one aspect of detox, and they haven't really considered endocrine disrupting chemicals, for example, or the rest of the picture. Many symptoms and health issues can be linked to having chemicals or wastes in our system than we have the capacity for. So think about weight management issues, migraines, and autoimmunity. So if you're bumping up against something in clinical practice and you don't know what it is, it could actually be a toxin. And we also see this in the case of toxic thinking, toxic stress, and emotional trauma as well. That's why inside of our functional medicine mentoring program, we've dedicated a whole module to detoxification to educate and inspire practitioners and give them a complete understanding of how to apply it in clinical practice with confidence. The first step is actually to learn what toxins are, how to find them in the environment, and how to start cleaning up someone's environment, which effectively turns off the toxic tap that is flooding the body. We also provide guidance on testing and whether or not it makes sense, since some of the testing is cost prohibitive and can be really confusing. Critically, it's fundamental to understand how to use food to start augmenting the detoxification process and learning about the various elimination routes out of the body. In step 3, we teach how to use targeted supplementation to take somebody safely through an active detox if that's appropriate. After completing the module, you will really understand how beneficial detox can be, and you'll be able to see that a lot of people actually need to detox their lifestyle, their bodies, their food, emotionally and metabolically as well. To go deeper on this and related topics, register for our free masterclass on how to boost your clinical confidence practicing functional medicine. Simply scroll down to the bottom of this page.